Next, we're going to work on his goggles and his hair. So first what we want to do is we want to come to the top layer in our goggles folder. Then we're going to add a new layer on top of that. Once we've done that, we're going to use our circular marquee tool to create a perfect circle that's going to be a little bit smaller than our goggle shape. Next, we're going to fill that in with a dark brown. So we're going to select our goggles color. Then we're going to bring that color down to the darker side. Hit OK. Now let's fill that shape in. Awesome. Next, what we want to do is we want to add a new layer on top of this. Now with this layer, we're going to use the same selection. We're just going to fill it in with a different color. So using our color picker, we're going to revert back to our goggles color. And we're going to bring that up so it's lighter. Somewhere about there looks good. And we're going to bring the color down more towards the red side. Hit OK. And now let's fill that shape in. Next, we want to unselect out of that selection. Then we're going to turn this layer into a clipping mask. Now using the grab and move tool, we're going to nudge it over with the arrow keys on our keyboard to about there. So now you can see it's created the illusion that there's a lens in his goggles and it's set back. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to select this lens shape by holding down Control on a Windows or Command on a Mac and hitting the thumbnail on the layer. Now we're going to come back to our color and we're going to take the same color, but we're going to make it a lot lighter. Hit OK. And using our brush tool and bringing down the size, we're going to just make a few streaks through there. These will act as reflections in his goggles. I think I'm going to make the second streak a lot smaller and thinner, like that. Awesome. Now just for texture, I'm going to add a few little spots in there. Cool. Now we can unselect out of that. And we're going to merge those two layers together. So we'll select both and merge. So now that's one layer. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to use the marquee tool to select that. We're going to copy it and paste it and bring it over to the other side of our goggle. Now using the transform tool, we can shape that to fit into our second goggle. Great. Now the last thing we want to do on our goggles is add an undershadow to it to give it some form. So let's select this dark brown that we used for the shadow on the inside of the goggle. Then we're going to come down to our layers and let's create a new layer that's a clipping mask. So make sure you create it underneath another clipping mask so it will automatically create a clipping mask. And then we're going to drag that up to the top of our clipping masks. Now using the brush tool, let's zoom in there. Using the brush tool, we're going to just paint in this bottom edge. So as you can see, now it gives a bottom edge to that strap, so it's not just a flat strap. Next, we're going to add some form to the goggle piece, like so. And we'll do the same thing to the other side. Now this piece that's connecting the two goggles, it's going to have a little bit of form too, and we want to show that in its undershadow. Great. Now let's just add one more undershadow underneath this strap. Cool. So now our goggles are looking pretty dang good. Now let's move on to the hair. I like the hair right now. There's just one thing I want to do to it. I want to add a darker color on this edge. So what I'll do is, coming down to the hair layer, I'm going to create a new clipping mask. And I'm going to drag that above our original clipping mask. Then I'm going to select this orange right here that he has in his hair. Then using my brush tool and bringing up the size, I'm just going to paint a streak on this edge of his hair, like so. Maybe I want that a little thicker. Awesome. Let's also not forget to label our layers. So really quick, we're just going to go ahead and label these. I'm going to merge these two lenses together just to clean things up a bit. So now those are one. We'll call those lenses. Call that shadow. And we'll call this color. Then come down to the hair folder, and we'll call this shadow. And we'll call this color. Great. Now we can close both these folders down.